Hey everyone, it's Carolyn. Welcome to the channel. So today I have another collective reading for you, and today's collective reading is going to be focusing on what you need to acknowledge in your life and what you need to release as a result of it. Kind of bringing some things to the light so that you can accept them and move on. And so if this feels like it's a topic that you're drawn to watch, definitely continue to do so. And if not, I'm going to have more videos linked in the cards above for you to watch instead. So what I went ahead and did for today's collective reading is I went ahead and I pulled your tarot cards, and then to clarify, I have two oracle decks here that we will use throughout the reading. I want to say welcome if you're new here. If you haven't already, please hit subscribe. I would love to have you a part of this family, and make sure you turn on that bell notification so you don't miss out when I post my next video. I post multiple videos every single week, including more collective readings like this. I also do zodiac readings and pick a pile readings, along with other educational videos to help you all with your spiritual journeys. And I also post unboxings of different tarot and oracle decks. And if you want to get your own in-depth personal reading, I do sell them. You can check out my Etsy shop, or you can message me on Facebook or Instagram. Everything's going to be linked in the description box down below. And so with all that being said, for your cards today, you have the World, Holding on Tight Avenue, the Four of Pentacles, the High Priestess, the Tower, Joyous Home Gardens, Four of Wands, the Empress, Starting Stable Avenue, Ace of Pentacles, and the Chariot. So what I think is really interesting is you have the World card and Holding on Tight Avenue. And so because you have Holding on Tight and we're looking at what you need to acknowledge, I feel like this is really indicating that the world right now is what you are holding on to, that you kind of need to acknowledge that you're doing this in order to release it. And so the World card is basically things that have run their course. So there are things that are ending, and it's like one door closes, another one opens. And so it's like letting a situation close. Let yourself move on from it in order to begin again. And so I feel like it's really fitting that you got this with Holding on Tight Avenue, because it's showing me that on some level you are not wanting to accept things, or you're not wanting to move on because you're not ready to say goodbye to this period of your life, or maybe this person in your life. But I feel like you are meant to do it. And I feel like for some reason you feel like this chapter of your life hasn't ended yet. But I feel like the universe and the world is saying it is, and it's okay. It doesn't have to be scary. It doesn't have to be frightful. But you do need to accept it. Because then you have the High Priestess, the Tower. So your High Priestess is your intuition. It is this feminine energy of really being in touch with your emotions and being energetically in sync. And so to have that tied with the Tower, I know the Tower card can be somewhat scary, but the thing about the Tower is that it doesn't have to be scary. Again, this is like indicating that this thing in your life is meant to be released. You're meant to let go of it, because the Tower is basically indicating that there's something in your life that you've been holding on to, and so now the universe is coming in and forcing you to let go of it, forcing you to give it up. And then you have the High Priestess, so this shows some level of you energetically knowing what this is, but ignoring your intuition, not fully listening to it. And then you have Joyous Home Gardens and the Empress. So what I'm sensing from these two cards, this energy with the Four of Wands is about a celebration, really having this very happy, loving time of your life. And then the Empress, it's depicted as a ring here. But again, the Empress is the stable energy, representing creativity, representing connection and commitment with this ring. And so to have the two combined, it's almost showing like there's this need to allow things in your life to end in order to have this good, happy, fulfilled life, and allow yourself to create and allow yourself to actually move on to better and more stable things. It's almost like the things in your life you're doing right now, it's like you don't want to give them up, but yet they're not stable, they're not secure for you, they're not leading to anything. There might be fun in the moment, but it's not bringing you the happiness and the security you want out of life. It's temporary satisfaction, but it's not providing what you need. And here, Starting Stable Avenue, Ace of Pentacles, and the Chariot. I feel like you're meant to right now move towards things that are more stable, starting stable, where you were really clear on the foundation. What I think is so interesting about this Tower card here is that it's about having this tower crumble all around you, but you still have that foundation to build on. You still have a path forward. You still have a way to remake things better and stronger and healthier. So I sense that there is this level of things in your life that you were holding on to but not really needing to. And I feel like a lot of you who are watching this, you're actually holding on to parts of yourself that you need to heal, and parts of yourself that aren't helping you achieve your goals. Some of you, I feel like you have some toxic traits that you try and ignore. You try and brush them under the rug. You try and say they're not a big deal. And Spirit's giving you this message to say, hey, you need to look at the whole truth. And sometimes the whole truth is accepting that things about yourself is not perfect. You yourself are not flawless. Yes, you are amazing. Yes, you can manifest whatever you want, but that doesn't mean that there's not some level of introspection that you need and some level of inner healing. And that could be really why you have this High Priestess card here, because it's like intuitively you know it, but because you know it, you've been bypassing it and not wanting to take action on it. And I feel like if you don't take action on it, your warning with today's reading is like, you want this stable, secure future. You're not going to get it if you keep holding on tight to this and ignoring what about you needs to change. Because if you continue to do so, you will have this Tower card come true, where it is going to ruin relationships, or it is going to cause chaos in your life, or it's going to be very difficult for you to break these habits where you end up putting yourself in a situation that is unfavorable for you. And it's going to cause you to not feel secure and stable with the things in your life. It's not going to allow you to have this joyous home gardens, this 4 of Wands, this celebration, this Empress energy with commitments. It's like you're going to end up having things come crashing down around you. And I feel like that's why Spirit wanted you to watch this reading today, because it's not to insult you. It's not to be mean or cruel to you, because this isn't meant to shame any of you, but it's meant for you to take a moment to acknowledge your own flaws and actually work on healing them, taking the steps to do so instead of pushing the blame onto others or taking the blame off of yourself. Today's reading is meant to provide this level of introspection so that now you can take these tools and actually create the life you want and have the stable security you want in your life, where you are not going to be your own demise. You're not going to be your own worst enemy, because I feel like you really want to move on, but you can't move on if you don't heal it. It's the same way that it's like if you had a broken arm, if you ignore it, if you don't heal it, you can't do the same things you used to with your arm because it's broken. And so you need to acknowledge that it's broken so you can give it the time to heal. You're not going to be limited anymore. You're going to be able to know what you can do, and you're going to be working to the best of your ability. I'm gonna go ahead and pull some cards from the Wisdom of the Oracle and see what we get. I want to see if we can acknowledge what parts of you need to heal. So we have card 11, by the book. And card 30, TikTok. So with these two cards, what I'm sensing for you, I sense that there is this energy of this karmic cycle that could have followed you generationally. So this was something that kind of was taught to you from your older family members, and it could be something that they did subconsciously. But basically, I'm getting the sense that it's like you're meant in this lifetime, and the reason you're drawn to watch this reading is because you're meant to break this chain, you're meant to break this cycle, and really put an end to this divine climbing, this divine cycle that's been going on, because you have TikTok. So you literally have like this clock that's breaking, like saying like, hey, just because something has continued doesn't mean it has to continue anymore. And so what I'm sensing is there's almost this energy with you, which has caused you to not create the stable future that you really desire, because you are like doing everything by the book. It's like you have this timeline in your head, you have the events of things in your head, and so it causes you, when things are not going your way or when you're dealing with frustrations, instead of working them out in a way that is actually giving you the time to process things and understand things and talk about maybe any ongoing issues that haven't fully been resolved, it's like you try and rush through things, especially when you have a problem with someone. Instead of actually working it out, you like to push forward and be like, it's fine. And like, I feel like sometimes you can be a bit passive aggressive, but it's like you push on and you just ignore it and you keep on ignoring things because you would rather keep things going in the timeline that you need it to go and work out in what you think is your favor than actually take time to sit and address things. And I get the sense it's almost like this go, go, go energy, because it's like here all the elephants are falling in line after one another. And so it's like you really look up to the people in your life where it's like either you want to embody the lives they have, it's like you're trying to follow them and live up to these expectations, or it's like you don't know what to do. And instead of finding out your own set of answers, instead of discovering things for yourself, you are latching on to others. And again, it goes to this energy of pushing things away, pushing away responsibility. not taking time with yourself to actually sit and actually think and actually process. And I feel like that's why you have TikTok, because it's like you can only do this for so long before push comes to shove, before you end up getting fed up and feeling very confused, very lost in your own life. And like I said earlier, it's going to be that tower moment. It's almost like everything in your life right now is fake. And not in the sense that you don't have real connections with people, or like you're gonna lose everything, because again, this reading's not meant to scare you, it's just meant to be a warning. But it's almost like you yourself are acting fake. You are not acting true to yourself, and I feel like that is really because you don't fully know who you are, or you have suppressed who you are. Again, this goes to this energy of like not acknowledging your own thoughts, not acknowledging your own intuition, not acknowledging who you truly are. It really feels like there's this lack of foundation, for lack of a better word. So there's this lack of stability in your life, and that's where literally in order to move forward, you have to start building this foundation. In order to move forward with this chariot and this stable life, you have to create this new level of stability. And I feel like you really need to allow yourself to go through this moment where you are allowing things to leave your life, and allowing some of these things that you thought you wanted to leave your life. And I feel like this process is going to feel a little bit scary. But an exercise I really think you need to do is take a moment and sit with yourself. You can do this while meditating, or you can just think about this before you go to bed, or whenever. You could even journal if that's something you want to do. Find a way that works for you. But basically, I want you to ask yourself what it is you really want, and then ask yourself why you want it. And I want you to dig deep when you do this. I want you to actually understand if the reason you want it is because everyone else has this in their life and they're happy, or because everyone has told you this will make you happy, or because this is what you think you need to be happy, or is this desire and this want coming from a place that's actually from you? Being like, I don't know how to explain it, but when I think about doing this, I am super excited. I'm super passionate about it. I feel super motivated. This is something I want to work towards. Find if you have that inner passion for it, or if it's coming from this place of doing it because you feel like it's what you should do. And I want you to do this with different areas or different desires in your life. This way you can actually see what's truly you, what's authentic to you, versus what you are doing more to appease others, or again, because there's this energy where you feel like you need to do this. What I think is really interesting too, 11 reduces to number 2, and 2 is a number of balance, and it's almost like this number of like learning how to balance the scales, almost in a sense, because like I said, it's about balance. And so it's almost like learning what boundaries are, learning and discovering really what makes you you, finding where that balance is within you, and also like learning when you push too far in one direction and what it leads to. And I feel like that's what's kind of going on now, is that for so long you've been like pushed in this one direction, you haven't discovered the other. And then you have number 3 with 30. And 3 is a number all about discovery. And it is a number about adventure and experimenting. It's kind of what I call the toddler of the numbers when we talk about numerology. And it's a little bit different than number 2, because number 2 is about learning balance and duality, learning kind of the pros and the cons. 3 is a number that is, yes, about discovery, so there is this level of learning, but it's almost like everything is a possibility. There's not just 2 options to things. There's not just sit and learn. It's about actually going out, falling down, picking yourself back up, and actually like moving forward in a way where you are learning about yourself in a hands-on way. Whereas with number 2, I feel like it's an energy that's a little less hands-on and a little bit more like observant, a little bit more of a listener, someone who's patient. And so I feel like you're holding on too tight to this energy of feeling like you need to be perfect and convincing yourself that you're perfect. Because like I said in the beginning of this reading, it's like, yes, you can be amazing in certain ways, but you still have some flaws. And flaws are okay, we all have them, but we have to acknowledge when we have them. And so I feel like by you acknowledging these parts about yourself, you're actually going to be breaking the cycle where you're not in denial anymore, you're not ignoring things anymore. And because of that, you're able to see everything about you that needs to change. And I really feel like what needs to change about you is this energy to push things off, this energy to try and do things that fit what others want for you or what you think you need, or figuring out your own identity. I think it is really time for you to figure out who you are and what you want and go for it, not push things down anymore. When you have an issue with someone, work the issue out fully. It doesn't matter if this person's gonna leave your life as a result of it. If you're trying to go and approach things level-headedly and try and work things out with them and, you know, let them know how you're feeling about things, if that makes someone want to leave your life, let them. Because when it comes to the people in your life, you want to have that mutual respect and ability to go work things out and not be afraid of walking on eggshells to keep them peaceful. Because it's like, why do you have to sacrifice your peace so that they are more peaceful? Because it's like you're getting upset with them, and instead of working it out in a way that's productive for both of you, it's like you're walking on eggshells and you shouldn't have to be. And so if there's people in your life where you have to walk on eggshells, create some distance. I know it's not always possible to remove people from your life completely, but you also don't have to spend every second of every day with them. And I think you really need to evaluate the choices that you're making in your life. Not only evaluating them to see if they're the choices you genuinely want, but also evaluating your life and seeing if this is something that is going to lead to benefits in your life, or if this is something that's more so for the short-term fun, and if it's not actually going to lead to anything. And obviously there's going to be balance in everything. So just because something might not be benefiting to your life in the long run, it doesn't automatically mean you shouldn't do it. But it's just about teaching yourself to be a little bit more mindful before you say yes to things, before you commit to them. Because I get the sense it's almost like you're committing to the wrong things. You're committing to the non-stable things, the non-secure things. And that is where, with this Empress card here, you need to acknowledge the things that you were doing that's taking up your time, that's taking you away from these things, that's going to lead to this productivity and this happiness, this emotional stability, and the actual stability in general in your life that you're craving. I'm gonna pull some more cards and see what else you can do to help yourself heal. You have card 2, Inner Trust. So I want to read a little bit from the guidebook for you, because this goes hand in hand with what I was saying about you needing to break free of the karma that is surrounding you right now that has prevented you from being fully authentic. It's like you're not living your life for the things that you genuinely want. It's like you're hiding behind a mask and you're pushing things away. And like I said, like with this High Priestess card, really connecting with your energy and your intuition and knowing when things are not quite adding up, knowing when things are a bit out of sync, but not fully listening to it. And so the guidebook's encouraging you to start listening to your intuition more. And so the guidebook says your opportunity for growth lies in letting go of the need to hide yourself from the world and to let go of any doubt about the wonder of what lies within you. This oracle brings you a message that it's time for you to trust yourself and let the real inner you out from behind the veil. And I think that's so fitting, because I really get the sense that like the reason you were drawn to watch this reading is because this is a time for you to embody this change and to actually allow yourself to acknowledge what you're holding on tight to. And you're holding on tight to these things that hide you, that make you fit this cookie cutter mode, this perfection mode of who you think you need to be and what you think your life needs to be. But it's not allowing you to actually be real. It's making you be fake, and it's not allowing you to fully be able to actually heal anything that's going on in your life, because it's like this energy of pushing things away. And I know I keep using this word, but I really get the sense it's like you're pushing people away, you're pushing problems away, you're pushing responsibility away, you're pushing yourself away, is really what it feels like to me. It almost feels like you are trying so hard to fit this mold or this mask that you are not allowing any glimpse of your true self to shine through or peek through. And so on any instances where you think that they are, it's like you try and hide that. And so again, you're not allowing yourself to fully heal from things, because you're not allowing yourself to truly acknowledge how things are hurting you or how they are affecting you, because again, it's like you're trying to be perfect and you're trying to fit this timeline. And so instead of acknowledging that things hurt you, you were trying to just sweep them under the rug and keep moving forward. And it's like you can't do that. You have to acknowledge your intuition, you have to trust yourself, you have to trust your instincts, you have to listen to your emotions, and you have to honor them, because if you don't, you're gonna have this tower happen and it's going to create this chaos in your life. The thing about this tower card though is, yes, it's going to be very unfortunate, yes, it's going to be very frustrating, but I don't think it's going to be something that's bad for you. I feel like in your instance especially, you might need this Tower card to happen so that it knocks all this fakeness out of your life and forces you to be real. And like I said, that's going to be very uncomfortable. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to be easy, but it's necessary. And I think, yes, that initial time period won't be fun, but years after, when you are truly yourself, when you're being authentic, where you're not hiding anymore, you're going to appreciate that for happening to you. And so I feel like this reading, it's kind of warning, saying if you can prevent this Tower from happening, go for it. Start to heal this now. Start to work on yourself now. But if not, don't freak out when this Tower card moment happens, because it's going to lead to these blessings and the stability that you want. I'm being reminded of the movie Encanto, and so I'm going to use that as an analogy for this. But it's like basically you're like Mirabelle from Encanto right now. You have the ability to change things and be your true self and honor who you are and say what you feel, and that's going to require you starting to stand up for yourself and speak up for yourself. And while that's happening, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be very difficult, and 𝐶𝑜𝑙𝑒𝑐𝑡𝑖 might end up crumbling. But after 𝐶𝑜𝑙𝑒𝑐𝑡𝑖 crumbles, you can rebuild. You're able to pick up the pieces and you're able to begin your life again, now in a healthier, beneficial, more productive way. And so just like in the movie, right now you're being told with this reading that you can either let this happen to you, or you can start to take charge and make this happen for you, where it's going to help the process be a little bit easier. It's going to be more at your own pace and what you're comfortable with, because if you keep ignoring this, if you keep pushing it under the rug, it's just going to make it happen all at once, very intensely and very fast. If you start to do this work now, if you start to make these changes in your life, you're going to slowly bring in the stability, and you're going to make these small changes where it won't be as overwhelming. But I really feel like what Spirit wants you to acknowledge right now in order to move on is the fact that you are being fake, that you are not being true to yourself, and there's this energy of pushing things out of your life, pushing yourself out of your life, and trying to feel like you have this perfect life or this perfect image, or not really truly letting people in because you are afraid of letting them down or disappointing them. It's like, let people in, let them see the real you. Even if you feel like you're a mess, people are still gonna love you, they're still gonna be there for you, they're still gonna wanna help you. And so don't hide yourself because you feel like you don't have it all together yet. That's not doing you any good. It's not going to help your own mental health. It's actually going to cause more issues for you because you're not enjoying your life. I really feel like it's better for you to accept your life and start enjoying where you're at, even if it's not perfect. Then keep waiting for your life to be perfect for you to finally start enjoying it. Because your life is always going to have something that you feel isn't quite perfect and that isn't quite to the standard that you want it to be. But that doesn't mean it's not good. That doesn't mean you don't deserve to be happy. And so again, there's this energy of pushing things away, hiding yourself, and it's like you got to stop doing that. Like, quit pushing things out of your life and quit ignoring problems. Work your problems out. Don't push them away. Pushing them away does nothing. It's a temporary band-aid. It's not actually solving anything. And so you can't live your life with all these temporary band-aids, because they're going to end up not holding, and then you're going to have this Tower moment where everything crumbles. So like I said, like, really allow yourself to do these changes where it's not as intense, and that you're actually in more control and doing it at your own pace that's more comfortable for you. And so I hope that this reading helped you out. I hope that you take this warning, and I hope that this resonates for you. If it does, let me know in the YouTube comments down below. Also, give this video a big thumbs up and share with others who need to hear it. If you're not already subscribed, please do so. I would like to have you a part of this family. And if you want to get your own private reading, I do sell them. Everything's going to be linked in the description box down below, and I'm also going to have more videos linked in the cards above for you to watch next. I can't wait to see you all in my next video. I hope you have a good one. Bye.